So our last segment with Dan Smith from Vail Mountain Rescue, we went through some activities that happened in Eagle County, but we've had pretty serious avalanche conditions and avalanche danger the past few weeks, especially down in southern mountains in San Juan. And this segment, Dan, we're going to go through some avalanche tips.
Well, we have 5 dead in the state, 29 buried, and I think 62 involved, something like that. And I mean, of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that ski the backcountry, and we've only got 5 dead. Well, you know, that's not horrible odds, unless you're one of the 5. Then it just really sucks.
Yeah.
The people that are going to help you in an avalanche are the people with you. They have to have equipment, they have to have training. If you're going out in a party of 5 or 6 people, everybody should have AVI 1, and the team leader should have AVI 2, and there needs to be a leader. You should work with something like all to go, one to say no, so that you don't get just somebody's, oh, I'm a killer macho dude, I can ski this. Yeah, you can, but only if it stays there. If it starts moving, you have a problem.
And essentially that means, just for our viewers, if anybody is feeling afraid, the whole group should turn back.
Everybody turns around.
Yeah.
That's what we do on an avalanche. That's what we do recreationally skiing. All to go, one to say no. If something happens, and it can happen even if you did everything right. You can be caught in an avalanche that somebody else propagated. Somebody just has to ski over a buried rock, and that can let everything go. It's the people with you that'll save you. They have to be trained. They have to have the gear. Because if they don't, here's what happens. Somebody's got to report that avalanche. Now, if you're at a place where you got cell phone coverage and you're not all together so that you're all buried under the snow, somebody's going to punch up 911. It's going to connect somebody. If you're in a place, like many spots in the backcountry, where you don't have any service, somebody's got to ski to where there's service. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. You just, you know, that cuts your odds of survival to a very low level. Then they're going to deploy the CRAD team, which is the dog handlers at the various ski mountains. The Flight for Life will pick up a handler, a dog, and typically a tech, and they'll fly the top of the avalanche. Well, if everything works right and it was your buddy standing next to you who could punch the number, 20, 25 minutes. If we have to come get you, you're not going to make it.
Which is why it's so important that your group is well trained and equipped to instantly attempt to rescue somebody that's been
Your
buried.
party has to do it, because my guys, we're all at home. No, we're not sitting at the house waiting for you to make a mistake or waiting for the snow gods to decide it's your time. We got to get people in. So that's going to be 45 minutes by the time we get people in and moving. Talk an hour to an hour and a half by the time we get to the toe of the avalanche, if everything works well. So our job, your chances of survival in an hour and a half are, if I'm remembering the table right, somewhat below 5%.
Yeah.
You really don't want to play those odds, as they keep saying, time after time. Go to Blackhawk. They're better odds at roulette, and they'll buy you a drink if you lose. The mountain will not buy you a drink if you lose.
No, it will not. And the snow, you may be skiing on light, fluffy snow, but when you get an avalanche, that's deep, buried layers. This is very heavy, compacted snow that's falling on you.
Blocks the size of this room. Walking on them is almost impossible. With snowshoes, you can try it. With skis, some people can do it, but you have to be very, very good. So people are just going to be slogging up that slope, listening for your beacon. And if we don't hear the beacon, the next best thing to find you is either the will of God or a dog.
Yeah.
And the dogs have very good track records, but again, time. The clock is ticking on one of these things. The people with you will save you if anybody does. Anybody else, it's just a crapshoot.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for these
Always
tips.
fun.
As Dan said, make sure you're going out there in a group, you're skiing safely, and everybody is well trained. And just one final mention, Vail Mountain Rescue is a free service. So if you are involved in any backcountry incident, don't ever hesitate to call them. They will be there to help you for free. All right, now we're going to check in with Maddie, take a look at the UV forecast.